The border town pulsed under lantern-lit skies, its air rich with spiced wine and murmured secrets. Laughter tangled with the scent of incense as wanderers lost themselves in the promise of the night. Meng moved like a whisper through the crowd, his silk robes artfully rumpled, just enough to suggest adventure, just enough to intrigue. His smile, sharp as a blade yet warm as summer, was both an invitation and a dare. Leaning against a tea shop's wooden frame, he watched jeweled women pass by, their laughter like wind chimes in the dark. One glance, a knowing smirk. The game had begun. Tonight he was neither a cursed man nor a restless soul. Tonight he was trouble wrapped in silk. The Cursed Mistress. Dusk draped the border town in amber and indigo, lanterns trembling over spice-laden stalls. The air pulsed with saffron wood smoke and the low murmur of barter voices weaving through the night like threads of an unfinished tale. Meng moved with practiced ease, his smile easy yet unreadable. His gaze caught the shimmer of silk and the glint of silver slipping from palm to palm. Merchants called, storytellers spun fables, and a child clutched a pomegranate like a heart plucked from myth. Yet beneath the market's hum, shadows stirred, hoods drawn low, glances exchanged too swiftly. Danger wore the scent of lotus and steel. By an incense vendor, Meng's fingers ghosted over his blade. Fate whispered from the alleys, unseen yet inevitable. He inhaled, let the night settle in his bones, and stepped forward, smiling into whatever awaited. The warehouse smelled of damp wood and dust, the air thick with silence. Crates loomed in careless towers, their markings faded, their secrets buried in shadow. Moonlight slashed across the floor, illuminating fresh, deliberate footprints. Meng's breath stayed steady, but his fingers trembled as he pried open a crate. The scent hit first pungent, wrong. No silks, no trinkets, just tightly packed bundles of illicit powder. His stomach turned. Then, the truth clicked into place. The lavish gifts, the hushed meetings, Lin's careful evasions, Jian's restless glances, Wai's easy laughter masking something deeper. They weren't merchants, they were traffickers. And he was standing in their den, somewhere in the dark, betrayal watched, waiting to strike. Rain hammered the alley, turning cobblestones slick beneath scrambling feet. Streetlights flickered, casting fleeting shadows over drawn steel and clenched fists. Meng's breath came hard, and his knuckles split, rain mixing with sweat and fury. His so-called friends stood before him, their faces carved from something colder than regret. Then, chaos. A blade hissed past his cheek. He twisted, countered, and felt the shock of his fist meeting flesh. A shout, a stumble, then a stray spark kissed the crates. Flames roared to life, shadows writhed against the walls, ghosts of trust curling into smoke. Rain sizzled against the fire, blood ran with water. And in that inferno, Meng knew there was no going back. The jungle weeps, rain streaming through tangled canopies, breath rising in silver wisps. Meng runs his pulse a war drum, his breath a ghost lost in the damp, trembling air. Sweat and rain carve lines down his face, but he does not stop. Towering trees loom, their gnarled fingers reaching, grasping. The ground, slick with rotting leaves, fights him with every step, as if the past itself clings to his heels. Behind him, pursuit lingers, footfalls, swallowed by mist, shadows shifting at the edges of sight. The path ahead twists, vanishing into nothing, a corridor of fate and fear. Yet he runs. To stop is to surrender, and the night is far from over. Like a phantom roused from time's depths, the mansion rises through the jungle mist, tall, immaculate, untouched by the decay creeping beyond its gates. Golden lanterns flicker against the night, their glow a quiet promise or a whispered warning, casting restless shadows across carved pillars and latticework finer than a spider's web. The air hums with eerie stillness, as if the trees dare not trespass upon its sacred ground. Every archway, every flawless stone speaks of a presence, unseen, yet unforgotten. It is a sanctuary and a snare, a beacon in the darkness that calls to the weary, yet offers no assurance of what waits within. The night holds its breath, the door stands waiting. The mansion gleams beneath midnight's hush, its golden lanterns casting a dreamlike glow over carved panels and sweeping eaves. Polished wood drinks in the light, reflecting it like a trapped moonfire. Shadows coil between the intricate latticework, shifting with silent intent. The air is rich with damp earth and distant blooms, yet beneath it lingers something less tangible, unspoken. The wind stirs the leaves in a hushed murmur, as if the jungle knows the secrets woven into these gilded walls. Beauty and menace entwine, an invitation wrapped in lantern glow, a refuge perhaps, or a snare. The night watches. The mansion waits. The heavy doors part with deliberate grace, their gilded edges catching the lantern's glow. In the threshold, she stands a vision draped in silk, the fabric sighing with each subtle shift. The patterns on her robes shimmer, woven with secrets only the night can decipher. Her gaze meets the darkness beyond, steady, unreadable, eyes that beckon yet warn. a smile poised between welcome and deception. The lantern light flickers across her face, sculpting shadows soft, elegant, unknowable. Behind her, the dim interior hints at unseen splendor, golden embellishments, silk-draped corridors stretching into mystery. A breath of perfumed air drifts into the night. The door stands open, yet the threshold feels like the edge of a dream. One step inside, and nothing will ever be the same. The entry hall glows with the warmth of 100 lanterns, their golden light carving intricate shadows into polished wood. The air is thick with incense, rich with the hush of unspoken things. She stands at the heart of it all, poised, elegant, predatory. Silk drapes over her like flowing moonlight, each movement measured, deliberate. A slow smile graces her lips, inviting yet unreadable, while her eyes hold secrets too deep to name. "Welcome," she murmurs, smooth as honey, laced with intent. Luxury cradles the moment, yet the whisper of a snare lingers beneath it. Behind Meng, the doors have already closed. Golden lanterns flicker over the banquet hall, their glow dancing across tables laden with sumptuous dishes and brimming wine cups. The air is thick with spice and intrigue, laughter curling like perfumed smoke. Silk-robed guests sip and savor, their voices warm, their smiles honed to perfection. Yet beneath the polished courtesies, something lingers, an edge too sharp, a pause too measured. Antique porcelain gleams under candlelight, while murals of forgotten legends bear silent witness. She sits at the heart of it all, serene, unreadable, a queen in a court of veiled intent. Her eyes flick toward Meng, just for a moment. A game has begun, though the rules remain unspoken. The feast is rich, intoxicating, but beneath the revelry, inevitability coils, like a blade resting beneath silk. Laughter falters. A wine cup slips from startled fingers, spilling crimson across the table. In the lantern's flickering glow, a guest mid-motion, mid-word ceases to be. No cry, no struggle, just silence. A ripple of shock shudders through the hall. Eyes widen, breaths catch. Shadows stretch unnaturally along the walls, shifting as if watching, whispering. The air thickens, pulsing with something unseen, something wrong. Only a swirl of mist remains where the guest once sat, curling into nothing. The feast resumes, but the laughter is hollow, and the wine is bitter on every tongue. Something has awakened, and it is not done. A choked gasp shatters the uneasy silence. Fingers claw at nothing, veins straining beneath pale skin. Eyes, wide with terror, reflect only flickering lantern light and the abyss beyond. Shadows pulse at the edges, twisting, watching. The world blurs a smear of shifting darkness and warped reflections. Light and shadow collide, carving every desperate detail into sharp relief. The glistening of sweat, the trembling lips, the final, futile struggle. Then, stillness. The unseen grip tightens. The last breath vanishes into the void, and the feast goes on. The air hums, thick with an unseen force. Shadows slither across the walls, stretching, writhing, as if the mansion itself breathes slow, deliberate, alive. The lanterns flicker, their glow dimming, swallowed by something ancient, something hungry. Amid the ruin of the feast, she stands untouched, serene, radiant, the mistress of it all. Her eyes glint like silvered moonlight, her lips parting to whisper a single word, soft as silk, heavy as fate. Around her, the guests lie still. Wine cups are overturned, silk robes askew, and their final expressions are frozen between terror and surrender. The curse has spoken, the debt is paid, and the night is far from over. Meng stares into the glass, but the face staring back is not his own. The reflection ripples, distorting like water stirred by an unseen hand. His eyes glow liquid gold, inhuman, unreadable. Shadows sink into his skin, hollowing, warping. The familiar unravels, lines twisting, stretching, an echo of himself slipping away. The mirror's ornate frame coils with serpents and ghostly figures, their lacquered forms gleaming in the dim light. Behind him, the room flickers in the glass, shifting, restless, as if the curse is watching. He reaches out. The glass is colder than death, and it does not let go. The air tightens, thick with an unseen force. Shadows coil around Meng, alive, searching. The mansion's gilded splendor fades into a ghostly blur, its warmth devoured by something ancient, something watching. A whisper brushes his ear, voiceless, inevitable. The curse has found him. His body seizes, his hands tremble, and his reflection fractures in the dim light. Gold bleeds into his eyes, inhuman and unreadable. Power seeps into his bones, cold as the grave. He exhales a shuddering breath. But the curse does not release him. It has been chosen, and now it is his. The butler stands motionless, hands clasped with meticulous grace. Candlelight flickers, casting restless shadows along the hollow corridors. His expression is serene, too serene. A ghost of a smile lingers on his lips. Unreadable, knowing. His eyes gleam dark pools reflecting something unsaid, something inevitable. The dim light glides over his poised figure. the crisp lines of his traditional attire untouched by time, by dust, by death. Meng shivers, though the air remains still. The silence stretches between them, heavy with unspoken truths. The butler inclines his head, his smile deepening ever so slightly. He already knows. Meng stumbles forward, breath ragged, pulse hammering in his ears. The grand corridor stretches endlessly, its gilded walls and intricate carvings warping at the edges of his vision. His fingers graze a lacquered pillar solid, familiar yet the world tilts, unsteady, unreal. The air thickens, pressing against his chest, sinking into his skin like unseen hands. Then, in the darkened window he sees it, his reflection, his face, yet not. Eyes too bright, too knowing. A shudder grips him. Disbelief twists into terror. The curse has taken root. The mansion breathes in silence, its vast halls steeped in twilight and memory. Ornate screens cast intricate shadows, their patterns shifting as if alive. Murals of forgotten dynasties sprawl across the walls, painted eyes watching, waiting. Antique furniture, lacquered and gleaming, stands untouched by time. Yet dust refuses to settle, as if even decay fears this place. Lanterns flicker, swaying gently though no wind stirs. Their golden glow bends against polished floors, swallowed by shadows that shift without cause. The air hums, thick with something unseen. Power lingers here, tangled in the silk of history and the weight of curses that have never broken. Mist clings to the narrow streets, curling around lanterns that sway in the hush of night. Their dim glow pools in rain-slick puddles, shimmering with fractured reflections of a world slipping beyond Meng's grasp. He moves like a ghost through the alleyways, his steps slow and aimless. Wooden eaves cast long, slanted shadows, and the scent of rain lingers in the cold air. Faces pass blurred, distant, voices murmur behind paper screens, yet none of it touches him. He is adrift, untethered from the life he once knew, bound now to a fate that will not let go. The alley is steeped in amber light, distant lanterns flickering like fireflies in the hush of night. Shadows stretch long across the worn stone path, shifting with an unseen pulse. She stands alone, poised between light and darkness. Half illuminated, her face carries the ghost of someone Meng once knew. Too familiar, too impossible. The soft curve of her lips, the glint in her eyes, both inviting and unreadable. The air hums with something unspoken. Destiny stirs in the quiet. Meng steps closer, though a whisper in his mind warns him. This is no chance encounter. The mansion is silent, its once opulent halls veiled in dust and echo. Faded scrolls whisper forgotten wisdom, their edges curled with time. Broken lanterns lie scattered, their flames long extinguished, yet shadows still dance where no fire burns. Meng stands at the corridor's end, wreathed in the hush of dawn. The first light spills through lattice windows, gilding his altered face, the sharp glint of inhuman eyes, the quiet sorrow carved into his features. The past lingers, the curse endures, and as the light stretches forward, so does he into a fate he can no longer outrun.